Nice.
All right. Welcome, everybody. It's a little late to start. I know it's after 9 a.m. Pacific or after 12 p.m. Pacific or after the time we said we were going to start, but you are here now, so it's the time that we're starting right now.
There we go.
Got that all in. And welcome to Coffee Time. I hope everybody has their coffee. I made sure I had
there you
mine.
go.
Everybody show their. Well, that's an interesting cup, Sherry. Okay. Hey, whatever. If that's your coffee, that's your coffee. But welcome, everybody. We are so glad to have you here on this Monday morning, August 18th. Wow.
Crazy.
We are now more than halfway done with August, heading into the last quarter of the year. No, we're still in the middle of the third quarter of the year. That's right. Because
You made
October is the last quarter.
Yeah, you made that as clear as mud. Thank you.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I like to play in the mud. Muddy Waters, wasn't that the name of a group? Anyways. All right, so we digress. Welcome again, everybody. This is a kind of time where we get together and just kind of schmooze.
Just hang out.
Hang out. You know what? That's the whole
Talk
idea
to-
behind Coffee Time. And we're just really grateful and glad to have you with us. So, let's see. Did I do that? I did do that. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get things rolling.
First, unlock your phone. If you update your lock screen settings.
Oh, you know what? Google.
A casual gathering called
Yeah. Pretty soon the AI. See, first of all, no one believes that we're being spied on. That they,
Yeah, we are.
And here's the funny thing. I always ask these questions to myself all the time. It's like, why is it a brother and not a sister? Do you guys ever ask yourself that question? It's like, so, is Stalkers basically male? So it's big brother that's watching us, not big sister. So anyway, that'd be a good question for AI.
Isn't it the brother that's the protector?
Yeah, but he should.
Uh-oh. Did Robert freeze?
He did here.
Okay. Yeah, I
he
see
froze.
that Robert. Okay, I just wanted to check and make sure Robert is. He and Terry are just solid there. They're going to be on our screen for a while, I guess. Robert, if you can hear us, you might want to go ahead and reset.
The coffee's
And-
gonna get cold.
Oh gosh, God forbid that. Yeah.
It's
You know
not
what, maybe-
sister because women are above that.
I'm sorry. Who is that and what?
I said it's not big sister spying because women are above that.
Oh. Sorry about that. Hold on, Robert. You were muted.
Did it continue did you guys stay online and it just kicked me off?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I started slamming Big Brother and he just said, listen, let me teach you a lesson. Click.
Well, he didn't teach us all the lesson, but okay. It's interesting because I'm the host on this one, so.
Yeah, they just cut me off. Me and Terry, you guys all froze and it just kicked us off. And we didn't even have to click back on. It just came back on. So
Oh, thank goodness
Watching
for
and
that.
listening.
sorry, Big Brother. I'm sorry, Big Brother. I didn't mean to offend you in any way.
Bullshit.
Well, hey, I got a quick idea to throw out to you guys since we're just hanging out, right? I don't thank you each and every one of you for participating and in the Master's Mind. I was very nervous about that. Really, really nervous about that because when part of being authentic is just being for you, and you don't have to worry about giving any cares. You know what I mean? So I really, 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 I was nervous because I guess there's still a part of me that's human, So yeah, I'm like, hey, if I express everything that I feel, then guess what? There's might be some of you that I love very much and care for that go, Robert's a nutcase. I'm out of here.
Yeah, but we love your nuts. I mean, your nutcase.
What?
Wow.
Hello, Jody.
Thank you,
Oh,
Jody.
Santa Corky, look at him. He's already going on his list.
Yeah, you put it in. Oh my God, one list to another. But I was saying in my prayer time this morning, I came up with something that we talked a little bit about yesterday, but I just want to throw this out to you. And I was thinking of you.
Fantastic.
All right. So, how many of you know people like Terry, or you are like Terry, that when you hear someone call somebody a name and you just go, stop that?
Mhm.
So, for Terry, that is babe. You know what I mean? So, when people,
Oh, babe.
oh, babe,
Hates that.
oh, babe.
Crazy.
Poor babe.
That's on me, and I'm carrying that irritation my whole life.
What other one? I know some other ones that bother you. It's like
No, babe really bothers. I don't know why it bothers me.
how about
Sweetheart?
no, Poopa or
Oh, no, well, when I was growing up, I called my grandma, and I called my grandpa, and everybody's now's got Poopa and Mima and all these names, and I'm just like, I'm grandma. I'm not glam. I'm just grandma. That's it.
Sherry, what do your grandkids call you?
Grandma.
Grandma. Okay.
Grandma Sherry.
And you guys are going to see where this is coming from. So first of all, let's see if everyone's willing to just be authentic and admit that when you hear someone say some kind of nicknames or something, it just makes you want to throw up in your mouth. Maybe it's not that bad, but Melody says glamma, right?
She's more glamorous than me. That's why she's
So-
glamma.
And when you guys are going to see, I'm going to make a point right now that made hair stand up on my body for a long time, right? So people that know Terry and I very well, she shows up with her bowling ball and her bowling shoes. And on her bowling ball, it says Ling, Ling, Ling. And my joke all the time is I just call her Ling, you know what I mean? and that's my little love name or pet name or whatever. And people are like, where does that come from? And me jokingly, it's just Ling, but sometimes I say it's short for ding-a-ling.
Robert.
And then I call him a name I'm not going to say. Anyway, under my breath, I do it. You know what I mean?
But you
I
guys are
say
going
it
to
out
see in a
loud.
minute. So the second question I have for all of you, for people that are very, very, very close to you, have you called them different names?
Oh, hell yes.
Look at all of us, right? All right. So why that the things that we love the most, we never stop making names up for them? Okay, let's go to pets now, right? I've heard Terry, what's the Dexa? What?
I call Dex Dexatrim,
Oh,
and then
funny.
I call Leo man.
And why is it that we see them and it's like, we call them different names and we got and I even did AI really quick and it's like, heard of nickname, right? So when I was young, I was Bobby the auto mechanic. That's not on my birth certificate. And then nowadays, don't people just call people by an initial? Hey, C, you know what I mean? How you doing, C?
Mhm.
And it's like, wow, what's, dude, brother, you know what I mean? Me and Terry were sitting in an airport, and there was 3 girls that were sitting behind us. And there's 3 young
Oh my
girls
God. Annoying.
where every other word is like, right?
Bro.
Mhm.
And every word is like, and then there's another name behind it. Bro.
Brah.
Thanks, brah.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
brah. Like, brah. Brah, bro, brah. And what I think is funny is when I put this in AI and I just said, listen, my thought for the day was, there's nicknames. And so it said, pet names, terms of endearment, aliases, handle. Holy crap, I haven't heard this since CB radio.
I was going to say, that's what it sounds like.
You know what I mean? We're watching Smokey and the Bandit.
And Convoy.
Good buddy. You know what I mean? It's like, this is Rusty Nail.
It's funny because handle is like another name for gamer tag and like
Oh,
in
wow.
gamer words.
Mhm.
So like, like your name on Instagram or any that would be your handle as well. So
Yeah. And all of you, please, you could unmute yourself and unmute, mute yourself anytime that you want to add in on this, right? Then there's people that are bold enough to actually come up with a name for themselves. Like, who would just say, "Hey, I'm Santa Corky." You know what I mean? Who would be bold enough, to just come out and say, "Hey, this is what you're going to call me," right? And I bring this up because the other ones are, a by name, endearment, love name, affectionate name, darling name, private name. And then I all of a sudden thought, wow, this is really interesting because, people actually have middle names.
Mhm.
And it's so the whole point that I'm bringing up is we have all these names, and the closer that you are with people, the funny things you can do with their name. You know what I mean? And I just want this always to be a hangout where we can just laugh and talk about the stuff that people don't understand. So here's the one that I'm just gonna say it. So if there's this entity out there that we all are connected to, and someone calls that entity a name, you know why it's offensive? Because it's not the name you have for that connection.
Mhm.
Holy. So if I got on this deal and you guys all know, you say you're not triggered, you say you're not programmed, you say that you got it all doing. And I said, before we get started, let's all say a quick prayer to Allah. Let's all say a quick prayer to Allah. How many of you are going, no, thank you. No, thank you. Right? It's like, hey, let's just say a prayer to Jehovah. Come on. Let's all pray to Saint Mary, Mother Mary. Let's all. The reason that names for that energy, that source, whatever you want to call it, the ones that trigger you is because you don't have your personal name. Because if you're connected to this, like you are with a pet, you should be more. If it's someone that you love or your children, why is it that we have multiple names for things we're the most connected to? I've already heard Matt call Ezra E.
yeah, I mean, we call him Ez like all the time. We don't even call him Ezra most of the time. That's like his, and I'm sure he'll go by whatever he wants. You know what I mean? Of
Okay,
course,
so
but
Matt, you're my son.
yeah,
Do I always call you Matthew?
no.
Now, how many people love it when people come up for names for you and you're like, Dad, what is it? And it's like, Matt Attack. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
mean, I'm like the type of person that I do this all the time. Like even my mom saying that I have nicknames for her dogs. I got nickname or their dogs. I got nicknames for everything. So hold on one second.
So if I said this, which is just crazy thinking, right? I said, hey, everybody, let's all talk about Ling today. Let's all talk about Ling today. And you're going, idiot, her name is Terry. Right? I'm going, right, Ling. Ling? What? That's a stupid name for somebody. Why would you call that? See, do you see the immediate thing that we do? So I know Terry dislikes Babe, and I mess up probably like once a year. You know what I mean? And guess what? Like I talked about the radio station. If we all love each other and all respect each other, and we jump in a rent a car, and the station is on a song that you don't like, and you say, "Can you please turn that off?" I just go, "Yes, yes," immediately. Why wouldn't we ever say, Because see, I'm getting deep in your guys' programming. So if we talk about this entity, this source, and I've said this to Matt because Matt means a lot to me. He's my son. I want to communicate with him. Matt, how many times have I asked you when we talk about whatever that is, what word would you feel comfortable me saying?
I don't mind. Like I don't care what word you say to call it.
But you said to me, hey, energy.
Yeah, no, I mean like every person's like obviously gonna call that whatever they're gonna call it.
Right.
For me, like I just tend to be pretty open to like most, if not all things. And so like especially as I've gotten older, I think like when I was younger, I definitely liked fighting more about it or like arguing about it or being like, no, I think it's this, I think it's that. But I feel like if it's anything, and like I know you said this, I wasn't able, I was doing a lot with him yesterday. Hannah was able to take a shower and do everything that she needed to do. And so I was watching him, so I wasn't really able to like engage yesterday as much as I would have liked to, but I loved listening to everybody and like of course everything you shared, Dad. But like for me, I think it just I'm more go with the flow kind of person now.
Yeah.
I think like I was gonna say, if it's one thing, it's love. That's what we're saying, right? So
Yes.
if that's the case, and the main goal is to like love people and love the people around you, having a son, like he's calm now, but like he's taught me a lot, you know, as far as love goes. So
Yeah, well,
um
and when he does the projectile,
yeah, none of
poo.
that stuff bothers me. Like
How weird? How weird is that?
it would bother me if he was like upset with me and something that I did that affected him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I think of course when you think about those things and you start to like engage with people more and stuff like that and kind of share like you were doing, share more of like where your mind's at, and if you're open to it, like hearing where other people's heads are at and being totally okay with it, I think is kind of how you like
Yes.
heal as a community and as a society.
Well, that's
You have to
actually
be
the
open to
next
other
step, Matt.
people's train of thought. So,
Matt, you and I, because of conversations that we have and the relationship we built, you are at the next page that I wanted to talk about. Do any of you ever imagine being in a place that when someone called something that you just sort of chuckled and went, okay? So there's people in the world that react because we're sort of programmed to react. Are you following me? We're programmed to trigger. We're programmed to allow things to come up and it ruins our minute, ruins our hour, ruins our day, ruins our week, ruins our month, ruins our year. But total peace is when someone gets in the car and says, can you change it to this channel? I love this music. And you're like, sure, no problem. Turn the
yeah, I
channel.
feel like in a lot of ways, like one of the things that I've tried to master, at least over the last few months, is like allowing people to share. Like you said, like say my friend, like I have a friend and he's really into country music, right? I grew up in Montana. I've been pretty sick of country music for like a really long time. But you know, he was sharing some of the stuff with me that he was listening to just as, you know, we've been talking more because he has children of his own, right? Um, and so I've been listening to it more and I'm like, hey, some of this is of course pretty good, right? Like perspective, you change, different things change about your life. And you have a different perspective. I gotta feed him. So
Okay, go
this is
ahead.
his hey.
But
He's
thank you
trying
for
to tell
That's
you
sharing.
not enough.
too.
Baby.
So one of the things that I've recently starting to see, especially in mainstream media, um,
Go ahead, Jim. We got you.
Yeah, you're going in and out a little bit, but please continue.
Okay, so one of the things I've become um, reacting to more is folks using Jesus Christ as an expletive. And that's not real cool with me. And I've kind of let it slide, but it's becoming more and more out there. So I thought, well, what would they say if I said Muhammad as an
Yeah.
expletive? You know, oh, why can't I use that word? You can use that. You can use Jesus Christ. Why can't I use, Muhammad? Damn it, and
Right.
just, keep on going. And I'd love to see. It's just something I'm just tossing around in my head. I haven't done it yet, but if we're being inclusive, and if we're being a safe place, then seems like that should fly.
Well, my point is that, and I'll just be, this is why we're just hanging out, Jim. If I feel, and I'm just throwing this out to you, if people say things and it triggers you, you got something to work on. Okay? All right? Because you have something to work on when you think of, okay, I'm going to say something to trigger them back. Because you're old enough to know what I'm going to say right now. When you deliberately do something to try to drive a point to something that someone's doing to irritate you, they don't get it. It has this double effect. When I was young and immature, right? And me and Terry are, building our lives together. She would do stuff that only bothered me. She never did it purposely. And I'd do something like this. Oh my God, she's purposely not saying anything to me. So I'll teach her. I'm going to give her the silent treatment.
Thank you.
She never knew I did it. And here's the other thing. I never won. So I'm like, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm just going to I'm going to do the silent treatment on you. See how you like it. I always lost. Because
and you get even more torqued up
about it. So from a friend to a friend, because I know you and I are close, it's like, wow, that's how Dino really kicks our ass. So it's like, react to that, trigger on that, right? No. I'm going to come up with something to trigger them back, because what they did is they do stuff to trigger me. And then you go
a little differently. Yeah, because I see it, in where I live, it's very progressive.
Right.
And so I just kind of want to do it as a way of illustrating.
They won't get it. That was my third point. It's like, so you go out of your way to teach someone a lesson, and there's no reaction at all. And now you're going like, but you're human because you have the thought.
Right.
I'm telling you, as much as I've worked on what you were talking about, one thing that for me to feel like I fit in, right? I was always the guy that constantly, when someone said something, I never, ever, ever thought about it, and then thought the replications from that could come from that. So I was one of those people that just opened my mouth and said stuff. And I'll never forget, one of my mentors one time pulled me aside, and he says, "Hey, do you know what delayed, windshield wipers are?" I'm going, "I'm a mechanic." And he goes, "You can learn to change that from your mind to your heart to your mouth." He says, "Right now, there's no delay." And he goes, "So you don't even allow your heart and your spirit to interject in the comment.
It's not even my head or my heart. It's just,
yeah, you get offended, and wham, they get nailed, offended and nailed. And he goes, it can. He says, promise you, it can. And most of the stuff that I said when I first met him was just me being nervous and trying to fit in. So some of the things that I said to people were not nice. Like I thought offensive jokes because that's the room I grew up in, right? I'm with other mechanics that are drinking. So I would say something like this, Jim. I would go, "Oh my God, Jim was so ugly, so ugly. He would put a pork chop around his neck. His mom would put a pork chop around his neck so the dogs would play with him." And everyone's going back
Work
and
though.
forth. Everyone's going back and forth with these jokes, trying to communicate and laugh at somebody else's expense. So, me, I like watching certain shows and I won't even say their name. And that's what they do. So I will say the name. So one of the, most watched shows on television right now is Gutfield. Right, and he's beating everyone. So here's this comedian that now has a show on Fox, right? And he brings on other comedians, and that's all they do is just rib each other, including introducing each other. So, they're like introducing each other and there's a little rip in there. And then, then they're doing this. So you see a bunch of comedians together and it's like for them to be able to out dig each other. There's a little dig, And whenever I go back to my family, right? How many of you guys are going to follow me now? I go back to my family and this is the way they say, "I miss you and love you." This is the way they say it. "Hey, Jim, the last time I seen you, you're a little smaller than you are now." That's, "Jim, I miss you and I love you, man. I wish you were around. Why did you have to make a shot about my weight?" Right? Or here's another one, "Hey, Jim, long time no talk. Is your phone don't work?" So then the response is,
I don't want to talk to you.
yeah,
I love that.
You know how easy that shit is? I have no interest in communicating with you at all.
Exactly.
So, this is what I want. This is what I love about Hangouts. And I think that the more we do this, the more we can go, "Oh my God, this happens to me." So now all of a sudden you come from an atmosphere, jobs like that. You know what I mean? My friends, my family are like that. Everyone's digging each other. You know what I mean? And now you're supposed to come out into a world where for me, I love making people feel good.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy still gets in my head. Now that I got we have a community of 102 people, this guy beats me up and says, "Wow, now everyone can see that you say that you love and appreciate everybody."
Mary.
It's like, I thought that it was special just for me. No. Robert loves and appreciates everybody. Well, I thought I was special. So that's why Jody tells me, "Don't forget you're special to me." But then now I seen her in Unlimited Wisdom and she says that to everybody. Mm-hmm. Is everyone
Remember, did y'all ever have the show? It was early 70s. It was Romper Room with
yeah,
Rogers or Miss Sally or whatever. She never called.
It was
my
the
name.
50s.
Miss Marianne.
Then I don't know about it.
She never called my name in the Magic Mirror. She never called my name.
Oh.
But I'm not bitter about it. But yeah. No.
Yeah, and so when you can really identify these little triggers that trigger us, like here's something that I don't know why it triggers me, right? Is someone will send me a message and she says, "Oh, by the way, tell Terry that I love and I miss her." Yeah, but you can't even spell her name right. It's one R, one I. I mean, can't you pay attention enough to see how she spells her name?
Right.
Grandma would always spell my name wrong, so whatever you want, I don't give a shit.
Have any of you ever called someone by the wrong name?
Oh, yeah.
This just happened to me in Tulum. So this guy respected me while I was in front of the stage. I said, let me use Eric as an example.
Derek. You said Derek, I think. He called him Derek, but his name was Garrett.
That's okay.
That's a simple mistake.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't correct me. So so we've always heard these neat things. It's always good to praise and lift up people in a group.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you want to correct people, don't do it in front of a group. So there was no one around. I walked up to him and I said, "Thank you very much for, doing role play while we're there." And he goes, "For the record, my name is Garrett, not Derek." Huh? So, so I don't want me moving forward in these videos to be these gatherings to be the talking head. The one thing that I want to do is I want you to think, what is your name for things? And if you're really connected to it and want closer connection to it. Because that's kind of stuff I do in Google and AI. Is like, how many names is there for that source? You know what AI told me? Unlimited. Indefinite. Because you can't get mad at someone for saying Abba. What is Abba? Then you look it up. It's a different language for saying my father. How many of you are like, so you get these things all the time. It's like, well, I don't know why, people say that it's God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? Okay. So how many of us have a spirit? How many of us have a soul? How many of us have a body? How many of us have a mind? Have you ever
sometimes?
Yeah, it depends on the day, right? Sure.
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, we as human beings really get tied up on some of the littlest, stupidest stuff. We
do.
We really, really do. So I love the analogy where someone said, if you look at a candle, and you light a candle, well, it's obvious that it has a flame. It's obvious that there's light coming from that. Shut the lights off, go in a dark room. And then try to
whatever talks the loudest.
Yeah, then hold your hand over the top.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you look at a lot of things. The thing that I've always loved from science is how many of you guys realize that virtually everything in the world can be turned into 3 states. So water's water until you get to 212 degrees. But everything has a melting point. Everything. Some of us have a very low melting point. And it doesn't take a while to boil, does it? It's like instantaneous, go to, what was the phrase, 0 to bitch in 0.1 second?
Right.
So you can turn it into gas. And then if you get to 32 degrees or 0 Celsius, it freezes into ice. How many people realize that virtually everything in the world is that way? So when it turns into steam, my God, it's invisible. So then when it turns into a gas, it's invisible. Can't see it. But everybody has been around people that go, my knee's starting to hurt. What does that mean? There's moisture in the air. There's a storm coming. And you're like, it's sunny. And they're going, my knee is saying it's coming. Do you guys ever heard people like this? Like, well, why? Well, it's been hot for a long time and there's a lot of moisture on the planet, and it turned into steam, and now it's in the air, and so it's eventually going to rain. I just, I don't know. Matt's been around me his whole life. My love's been around me for 41 years. It's like, this is the stuff that I think about all the time. It's like, why this? Why this? How does this happen? Why does that happen? Well, where does this go? So, nicknames.
I think nicknames it makes it special for you is what it is. In my opinion, you could say that your dog's name is Lex.
No,
or Dex.
It's Leo Man, and it's Dexty Dex.
Exactly.
Dexty Dex.
Yeah. So, but you're the one that can call them that name, and that's your nickname, your pet name.
Craig, you made me just think of something. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Finish your point. Hey, it depends on how I feel.
That's true.
Is your nickname changes?
It's because I call the cats now that I'm associated with, my mom's cats and my girlfriend's cats. I don't know why it just hit me to call them four-leggers.
Okay.
And I could do that with dogs too, but just that one instant came to me. And so how are you doing, four-legger?
Wow.
But it's not in malice. It's an endearment. That's I think what it is. It's more of
it's like an endearment, love name, affectionate title,
there you go.
Name, private name.
Right.
It's all the intention.
Thank you, Jody.
Oh, bingo, Jody. Bingo.
We talked about this on Sunday, didn't we, Jody? Where Jody's bold enough to just say, hey, listen, depending on the moment, I'm Mary or I'm Jody. You know what I mean?
I just have to share this with you. So on my birth certificate, I have 4 names. The font had to be made smaller to get all 4 names on my birth certificate. My last name, legally, not by my choice, has been changed 3 times.
Wow.
So, visiting my mom's family.
Boy, Jody, this is saying a lot. This is really helping me understand.
I know it will. Oh, wait. Oh, I know it will forever.
Oh, here it comes. Look out. Look out.
Okay, so go visit my mom's family, mostly in Alabama, playing with the cousins on my dad's farm. Jody, lots of fun, laid back, blah, blah, blah. Go back to Michigan, go to Catholic school. Mary,
sure.
Prim and proper.
Yep.
Uniform, skirt down below the knee, tie, walking like this in line. Okay. Then go visit my adopted dad's family, extremely wealthy in the Grosse Points of Michigan.
Beautiful place.
Yes. Lebanese. Okay. My dad's parents came from Lebanon. Children knew their place. And every single cousin was never called by a nickname, never, ever called by their first birth name. It was always the first and the middle birth name. Well, I have 2 middle names. So I'd go visit my dad's family, playing with the cousins and all that stuff. And my cousins, Mary Ola Claudia, come ride this bike with me. I mean, talk about personalities.
Yeah.
That I had to demonstrate that whole time. It's a wonder I'm sitting here not babbling and drooling.
It's the weed.
It is funny where I brought up that one part that when people are mad at you, I mean, how many of you guys had parents that you have siblings, right?
Yeah.
And so when they're mad at you, it's like my mom, all of us had B's in front of her name. That was not our legal name. So it was Bob Benny Bryant. So of course, when she's mad and she's upset, it's like Bob Bet, but it's like they call you by the wrong name. You know what I mean? Because and then of course, depending on what you're doing, it's Robert Allen. Thank you for bringing that up, Jody. It's like for those of you that always, if you have friends and people that you know in Nigeria, I'm sure this is for a lot of different cultures. Have you ever noticed where they'll call themselves blessed? They'll call themselves prosper. That is a name that is given to them, just like, dogs walking, Native Indians,
Oh yeah.
moon and sky.
Dances with wolves.
Yeah, star under cloud,
What do you ask?
So now we add that dimension to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's add another one to it. So now all of a sudden, Corky, all of a sudden gets called by the queen, I guess the king now, and now he's sirred. So now it's Sir Santa Corky. Isn't that crazy? And so it's crazy enough that we're trying to communicate, but then we turn around and we have all these things that they add on there. Lisa Marie had to go, but I was going to ask her, is that her middle name, or, did she take the middle out and scrunch them together? And it's like, so how many of us really take the time to say, what would you like me to call you?
Exactly. No adult ever did.
Isn't that crazy? What
Yeah.
would you like me to address you as?
Mhm.
And wouldn't you guys all agree?
Jody, I asked Jody on the phone the other day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Melody and I were, and she said, what would you like me to call you? Melody, I can count on one hand how many people have actually asked me that question. Oh, see, two.
Yeah.
That's it.
And how many of you would give somebody else a different name to call you based on how close you were?
Ooh.
I have a question.
Go.
When did you go from Bobby to Robert?
Great question.
Yes.
I get this. So I'm at this
I've
meeting.
known you for a lot, of you, let's say since the early 90s, I think, something like that. But
You'll love this.
It was kind of Bobby back then.
Yeah. Get this. This will blow your mind. So I signed an application for a network marketing company called NSA.
Mm-hmm.
And when I signed that, they said, please fill this out. And I filled it out. And Bill Gould, my mentor, held it up after I signed it and looked at everybody and said, everyone welcome Robert to the company. That was the day my name changed.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone started calling me in the professional realm my legal name. And then when I make comments on social media, you'll still see people call me Bobby. It's like they mentally want to say, I'm so happy for you and Terry, Bobby.
See, I would love to call you Bobby, but I wouldn't want to offend you. See,
you couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's a very endearing thing.
Yeah, please.
Oh, I agree.
Seriously.
It would not offend me any way, shape, or form. It used to.
I get it. I have a name that offends me.
Yeah. There was, because it brings me
just
back
don't call
to
him
a
Derek.
time. It brings me back to a time when I was young, and everyone that called me that didn't really, I guess, except for you, but they didn't. I
don't think I ever called you Bobby. I probably called you Bob until
and you used to
network marketing.
Yeah, and you called me Bob, but then what would you tell people how you remembered my name?
Oh.
You're not gonna tell?
Oh boy.
Good, bend him over, you put a B on each butt cheek and you bend him over, it spells Bob.
That's priceless.
Hey, this is what you get on Monday coffee time.
I so want to do a podcast with you. We have to go on together on TikTok. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh.
See, now I've always thought that when you start mentioning a second name, now in the case of like Lisa Marie, I think it's more acceptable for her. But I remember that when my mom said Craig Anthony, or Craig Anthony Jackman, it's like, uh-oh, what did I do wrong?
That's when you put your hands over your head.
Exactly. Or you kind of shrink back into the shrubs like Homer Simpson.
For me, you know what I mean? It's like
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and you know
can
what?
I tell you how please. I got the name Corky?
Yeah.
Please. I thought that was on your birth certificate.
No. No. Let's see. Is this going on YouTube? Are you going to put it on YouTube?
No.
Okay. This is private within
private.
Okay.
Oh.
So because
just speak a little louder into the microphone so I can make sure that we transfer it over there, right?
Right. Okay, Craig, just for you. Anyway, I was named after my biological dad. My biological dad was hated by my mom's sisters, my aunts, because my mom was 14 and he took advantage of her and he was a little bit older. I'll say it nicely.
Yeah.
I was born when she was 15.
Wow.
Wow.
So back in the 50s, 54. And so they tried, I think it was because of that they tried to make it work. They got married, but they tried to make it work. But my biological dad liked alcohol really good, a lot. So that within 5 years or so, it destroyed. But so my aunts from 2 days, I was named after my dad. I was named after my biological dad.
Wow.
So my aunt said, absolutely not. He's not. And I'll tell you what, some of you might know. I don't know if it's on my application with MDC. So, but is Leonard. So
I've never heard that name.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, they started calling me Corky from second day I was born.
They're sure not going to call you after that so-and-so.
Yeah, right. Only the bank now and, a few select things, my doctor, they have to have all that because it's on my birth certificate. But I've been named Corky. And then I had other aunts that on my dad's side that didn't want to call me Corky. But they wanted to distinguish me between their brother and their nephew, their nephew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, they call me Lenny Ray because my name is Leonard Ray Kinter. So
got it.
Anyway, so I'm Lenny Ray to one side of my family.
Get it?
Still get called that from the younger ones, and I'm Corky by most everybody.
That's so interesting.
2.3 million of my followers, it's Santa Corky.
Yeah.
So
anybody else?
I get it. I get it, Jody, when you got so many names out there and different things, but I prefer, Santa Corky in some
Actually, you know what? When I was doing radio, I would go by CJ or CJ Anthony.
Yeah.
And I had to remember, same thing like you, Corky. I had to remember that, this is how I am known in this circle. Mm-hmm. Because, for example, we had 3 Craigs and 2 Gregs on the staff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know. Like Craig is not a usual name, but it was kind of interesting when that came up. And so I thought, all right, CJ Anthony. And CJ, combining my first and last name initials with my middle name as my last name on radio. And a lot of people in the entertainment industry do that.
Right.
One of the more popular ways to go is to what is it? You take your first name and the street you live on, and that's your actor's name.
Huh.
Oh,
Fred,
I
that's
thought that
only
was
in
your
porn.
dancer's name.
Or that.
Fred, that's only in porn they do that.
No,
You're telling
wait a
them.
minute. Are you insinuating something here?
I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
I'm really excited that you don't mind me calling you Bobby, because I would love to be
Thank
able
you.
to call you Bobby.
Yeah, me too.
And it's Teri.
Yeah. Or Ling.
One R, one I. Yeah.
Sorry, Robert, but I can probably never call you Bobby.
That's okay.
My high school boyfriend's name was Bobby, and I just
Good.
Bobby
Good one,
G.
Melody.
Hey, do you guys
Robert to
find
me.
it when we do hangouts? This is what I want hangouts to be, because isn't it sort of weird that depending on the name that you are is probably like a little change in your identity? I laugh with people all the time. It's like when I was young, we used to go on road trips. And when we would drive from one city to another, guess what everyone would always say in the car? Well, when we go to this city, no one knows who we are. So we can just be, it's now I can just be whoever I want to be. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, why can't you be who you want to be?
All the time.
All the time. It's like you get to put on this different identity when people are around. And I'm not saying that you're lying, you know what I mean? But there's people out there that have made billions of dollars with using a persona. Parasocial relationships, Matt shared that all with me, that there's people out there that, God, did you guys hear, whether you like her or not, but Taylor Swift, she did her very first podcast with her boyfriend and his brother.
Yeah.
And they had, at one time, I think they had said that they had over 2.5 million people live on that podcast. And now the total amount that it's watched since then is like ridiculous numbers. Like, 50 million people have watched that podcast.
I am not one of them.
Me either.
Me neither. No.
Go away.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Go away.
Yeah. and I just think that it's fascinating, because the people that are wearing friendship bracelets that are her tribe, the people that are around her, love her and adore her and just think she's the coolest thing since sliced bread. And how do you understand that?
I don't get it, and I don't want to. So
you're not supposed to understand it.
Right.
But there seems to be not a week that goes by that people don't mention names of people that are the most despicable people on the planet. I don't know why their names keep popping up as well. Like Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so you got a name where you're known as one of the most evil people that ever walked the planet. So then people think that they can throw that name at you. You know what I mean? To try, what is the worst thing I could possibly call this person? You know what I mean?
Right.
Have y'all seen the webpage, Cats That Look Like Hitler?
What
No.
is it?
It's a webpage, and they've got these pictures of these cats that have like a little mustache.
Oh,
it is
geez.
hilarious.
Where's Arthur? Where's Arthur when you need him? Well, I don't want this to go on too long, because I know you guys have a lot going on. Does anybody else have any other comments or statements? Because I just wanted to leave you guys all with the concept of, man, you really get to pick your identity.
Mm-hmm.
So, the books that I love is when you talk about the greatest miracle in the world, you guys are always going to see me go to this theme, right? And Jim, I got a song that I probably sent you already, but when that one song that we talked about, where when you think of that, whatever that is that you call, do you believe that entity looks at you and they smile and they're proud and they know your name and you don't have to change anything about you.
Right.
See, the world, I believe, tells us that we're not enough, we're not worthy, we're this piece of garbage that can't even get close to being anything close to what we are. And so, that is not the way Matt looks at Ezra. That is not the way that I look at my son Matthew. So when we were talking about nicknames and stuff, man, there's never a negative thought that I have about my son. I don't need him to be or do anything. If my prayers for him or my wish for him is he always asks me, Dad, can I do anything for you? The very first thing that I say to them, is just keep your imagination toward the future and constantly be happy and become what you want to become. So now that he's a father, he constantly thinks about, what kind of example that he can be for his son.
That's awesome.
And so what I just seen organized religion do to people is really make them constantly feel that they're never enough.
Mm-hmm.
You're a worthless piece of garbage sinner. There's nothing you can do about it.
Oh yeah, you were born as a baby full of sin.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's like so I used to say to people all the time is that and I'll just give you this one quick story. When my first son was born, Darcy is his name on his birth certificate. His mom named him. And we in high school we had a lot of Darcys with male names. So she probably we'll leave that alone. But anyway, the whole point is that she was in the Lutheran. She grew up in the Lutheran. And so, the pastor of that organized religion told me that it was extremely important to have him christened, right? That we needed to have this christening.
Baptized.
No, totally different thing.
I know about religion.
Yeah. So christening, and I said, please explain it to me. And he said, well, christening is what you do to a baby that you basically are dedicating this baby, but the baby, if it's not christened and it dies before it has a concept of what's good and evil, that if you don't christen the baby, it goes to this middle place called purgatory. And it's where, I guess animals go, And I can remember as soon as he said that, this is what I felt in my heart, my soul, my spirit, is that that's not my God.
Mm-hmm.
That my dog is not taking an innocent baby and putting it in limbo if it doesn't have a person with authority and a costume on sprinkling water on them. So I just want all of you, like I said yesterday, is when you really start questioning everything, the one thing I do want you guys all to question is that relationship. So even though this is a hangout and coffee time, we just had a lot of fun. I want them to be like that. And I just want you to go, man, if your connection with this entity is like the thing that you love the most, that you have these names for, I can guarantee you that entity wants a closer relationship with you, and it is okay with you calling it whatever you call it, with endearing and love. So I just thought all of you would probably get a kick out of that, because, when someone says a name and people put their hand up and say, you can stop right there. My goal is to always communicate with the people that I love with love. So if Jim would rather me just call him Jim instead of something else, or if I have a nickname for him, And then every time I wanted to talk to him about my experience with this entity, and he doesn't like the word Allah, how about if I just leave that out? How about if I just leave Muhammad out? So if I said to Jim, Jim, what would you really like me to call you? Jim's okay. So if we're talking about the entity, what is your name for that entity? What would you like me? So now I can use a different radio station, a different genre of music, and I can now communicate, which I know my calling is a very simply try to reach the 8.2 billion people on the planet with love, no judgment, and to connect with them, whatever nickname they have. And I'm okay with them changing that nickname. Wow. Wouldn't that be love and acceptance? Because you know that you're in trouble when you're triggered. When someone says something and you're immediately, like Jim was bold enough and vulnerable enough, just like me, there was a time, man, it's like, this is the only name you're allowed to use. It's like, what? Yeah, that's a way to get people to love one another and love their self, is actually tell them the only thing that they can say is this. Whoa.
I got to run. Thank you, guys. I just wanted to say.
Thank you. We should keep these an hour.
Santa.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care. God bless.
God bless you. Love you. Craig, let's just go ahead and sign out.
All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Good day, great week.
Have a good
See you
day.
next week.
Yeah, thank you all so very much for being a part of our coffee time. And yeah, this is what's so fun about these, is that they're just freewheeling. You have a comment, say it, bring it out, and then we'll talk about it. We'll share, and that's the whole point. So thank you all so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on Coffee Time.
I appreciate you, CJ. I appreciate you, CJ.
Bye, Karen.
I was wondering who was going to notice that first.
Bye, Jody. Bye, Melody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Matthew. Bye,
Bye,
Esther.
Tat. See you, Michael. See you, Arlene. I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Love you all. Take care.
See you, Sherry.
Bye.
Gotta make you dog food.
Love you guys.